very difficult to go anywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, the opportunity is, they're pretty much there for anybody that's willing to put the work in,
Right. So now you guys got a bunch of shows coming up with Mushroom Head, Soulfly.
We've got a lot. We've got, after our CD release, next Friday, which is October 2nd, we're playing at in Winter Park at the Haven Lounge with Dead Horse Trauma and Lydia Can't Breathe. Really excited for that. Dead Horse Trauma, it's a really good band, and Lydia Can't Breathe. They're actually from Florida, and they're awesome. The following week, which is October 9th, the following Friday, we're playing with Mushroom Head, and Mortis is on that as well. So that's going to be a really big show, and that's up to the venue, 578. Yeah, that used to be the Firestone Lounge over there in Orlando.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, so very excited about that one. And then, where do we go from there? We don't even remember our schedule.
That's funny. Hey, man, there was times I was on the road and on tour. I was so fucked up, I didn't even know what city I was in. So, right. I know, I hear you, man. That's, you got people, in that case, doing the stuff for you. So I didn't have to do shit but wake up and make it to the show. So, but, are you any plans to do like a tour or anything? Because I know a lot of...
we are. Actually, we're finishing up this year. We're going to end in November. We're going to take December off. Pretty much it's just a breather. And then we're going to start hitting the road in January. And, we're going to start playing in Georgia. Pretty much we're going to work up the East Coast. We've already got dates in the works. Nothing I can confirm yet, but it's definitely in the works. So yeah, that's our goal. I mean, we're going all the way with this.
Yeah,
we think we have a business model that'll work, and we're going to run with it.
Yeah, if you guys go up to New York, you should let me know, because I know a couple of bands you'll fit perfect with, and you'll probably get some dates with them. So one of them's Misery Kills, and one of them's Liar's War, featuring Joey Z from Life of Agony. So I'm pretty good friends with the bass player. So
right, nice. No doubt. Yeah, it helps have friends, man.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you're going to make it there, I mean, it's a long way, and they bring a big crowd, so it'd be good for you, I think.
Yeah, we've got connections. I'm from Massachusetts originally, so we've got connections up in the Mass and in New Jersey, and, pretty much all about the East Coast. We've got some pretty good connections with not only, the venues, but also with the bands up there. So, it's just pretty much just working out the logistics right now.
Right, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really beyond our dreams in a way. I mean, this isn't, for myself personally, I wasn't the guy that stood and played air guitar in front of a mirror. That just wasn't my thing, So, all of this is just way surpassing any expectation I ever had. I'll probably speak for all of us on that, but it's overwhelming, and it's all due to the people. It's all due to our we call them our family, the people that come onto our shows, that show us love constantly. I mean, it's really...
I'm losing you just a little bit again.
What's that?
I'm losing you a little bit there.
Oh, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, that's much better. Thanks, man.
Cool.
No problem. But, it's definitely cool. I mean, it's definitely... I did a lot of touring, so that it's a rough thing, especially, like, I think the longest spurt I was out on the road was like a year and a half. That's you just want to come home, but it's I wouldn't trade it for anything. I mean, it was a trip. I mean, I met everybody you could possibly meet, and all the fans and shit. I remember going up to Canada; it was nuts. But we were just we were more like a Stone Temple Pilots band, but it was pretty good stuff. So. But
no doubt.
What are some of your favorite locals around here? Because I know you got a radio show on Sick World.
Yeah, we run Radioactive Madness every Wednesday on sickworldradio.com from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Little plug there. And I also run Tampa Bay Metal Scene on Facebook, and I'm all about the local scene. And one thing I've always believed about the Tampa Bay area is that this is the capital level of metal. I mean, in my opinion, I mean, there's more talent, per capita here than any place I've ever been to. Just there's so many bands, and the thing that I think that differs, I see other scenes, and I've experienced it where you have bands that just they don't support each other, they don't help each other out. With the other bands on, they sit in the corner with their arms folded, or they leave right after their set. And this area is not like that. I mean, you have bands that cooperate, that understand that we're all in this together, we're all in family, and we all pull together, to make this work, to make it better, to make it more beneficial for everybody. So I think that's one thing that the Central Florida has that most other places don't.
Yeah, I could say that definitely don't exist up in New York unless you are really good friends with that band. That's the only time. Otherwise, it's a rivalry. You just, this is my dressing room. You fucking keep it if you want it. Who cares? You're a little bitch, and just play your set, and I'll do my fucking thing if that's how you want it to be. But that's really how it is. I mean, down here, I do notice a lot of the bands are a lot tighter. I mean, I haven't been on the scene, but in a while, but.
It's not clicky. I mean, you always have, and even this area used to be that way, where you'd always have those 2 or 3 bands that always play together, and you know what I mean, in these little groups, and you'd always see that. These days, you don't. I mean, it's like everybody plays with everybody. You know what I mean? And it's just that. And again, we all stay till the end of the show. We all support one another, and and that helps. That brings more people. People want to see that. People want to be a part of that. It becomes bigger than, just a metal show. It becomes almost like a family reunion in a sense, and I think that's vital, to having a thriving scene, which is what I think we have.
Yeah, it becomes, the thing to do. You become family after a while. I mean, it definitely is a tighter scene down here. It is more metal than rock, but that seems to be going on everywhere. I mean, this is like the death metal capital of the world, pretty much.
Well, it certainly is. Sure. I mean, you had DSI, and, all those bands, really bring out death metal and put Tampa Bay on the map for that.
Right.
But Seattle came and took a lot of the steps of the way. But that never really left. I mean, the whole, just the whole metal scene itself never really disappeared,
Right.
That's the fact that thinking away, it's kind of growing. I mean, I remember back in the days when DSI played, and there weren't that many people at the shows. They were selling albums, overseas like crazy, like that.
Right. I'm losing you a little bit again.
My bad. But anyway, I just, I don't know. We've just always been a metal, just a metal place, I guess. Versus rock. I mean, there's a lot of good rock bands here, but I think there's a lot more metal bands than probably, most other genres.
Right. So, I mean, there's plus down here, there's a lot more, bigger clubs to play that are in one area. I mean, it's kind of harder to play here, I noticed. But you got your few clubs in St. Pete, then you got to throw Tampa. But really, it's hard to spread it out. So, but
right. Well, there's been some club closings which have hurt, but then there's some new ones that have opened up that have spread it out. I understand Brewers and Seminole is about to reopen, and they've been in there. I don't know what it looks like, since back in the day. But so some new things are opening up. There, and there are some good venues here. I mean, there's, I know we play a lot of different venues around here.
Right. Yeah. I think Gasoline Alley closing hurt. A lot of the local scene, and Bourbon Street up in Newport Richey. Because those were two major places to play. At least when Greg owned Bourbon Street, he brought national bands through, which not many clubs are doing. I mean, you got a handful of them, but it's not. I don't know. But you guys do you sell a lot of tickets online for your shows, so
we do. Well, we've we always, our competition is Ticketmaster. We we've been kind of anti-Ticketmaster, because they always have their upcharges and all of that. So, our main competition is always Ticketmaster. We like outselling them. But you have to put yourself everywhere. I mean, you really do. You have to, a lot of bands don't like selling tickets. They're kind of against it. And, what we've learned as a band is we've gained fans from selling tickets. We've created relationships with people that we might not have made in any other situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
We use it to our advantage, and we've been very good at selling tickets.
Right. You guys are one of the few exceptions, I think, because I'm not really a fan of selling tickets because I always wind up getting on the show where that band, like we did Boba Flex at Bourbon Street,
right,
and they might have had 20 people. We sold 150 tickets, and they made us go. They tried to make us go on last. It's like, you know what? This is a band that sold fucking thousands of records, hundreds of thousands of records, and here they are playing for my fucking. I'm like, this is. I was so pissed, dude. And then those guys wouldn't even take the shit off the stage. I'm like, all right, this shit's getting thrown off, man. I'm kicking it right off.
Right.
But that's the downfall. But you guys, there's no fail playing with Mushroom Head, Soulfly. You're gonna sell those tickets, and then you're gonna get the exposure to the 1,000 people that are showing up to their show.
Right. I mean, as I mentioned, you're not going to have the days of, the AR agent just happens to pop into a little venue and notices the band signed to do a big record deal and they make all the money and the big fairy tale. I mean, those don't happen. So, you've got to make those connections. You've got to be, in front of the right people. You've got to meet the tour managers, the people that are actually involved in the industry. And you're not going to meet them at a small brass mug show. Nothing against the brass mug. We love them.
No,
but you know what I mean? You're not going to meet them. But you know what I mean? You're not going to meet the kind of people that you need to meet to make it to the level. I mean, if you really think about it, the national scene works much of the same way that the local scene does. That it's all a bunch of friends that know each other, that have all got to know each other and, that happen to be talented and be into music. So how else are you going to meet those people unless you, are playing with the bands that they have to be touring with or whatever? You gather what I'm saying.
Right.
But, so we see it all to our advantage. If we were if we were purchasing our own tickets, if we were just buying them so we could play the show, which I've known bands to do, I don't think that serves you any purpose as a band. But, if you're able to sell them and you're able to, get those people to become your fans, it's a win-win for the band, in my opinion.
I hear you. Yeah, so, I mean, everybody's got a different opinion about it. It's definitely a controversial thing locally.
Oh, it is. And it depends on the promoter, too. I mean, we make a profit off of our ticket. We sell them at their base value. So, we typically make a profit in ticket sales. And, so I mean, the only other way we're going to play with the National is if we were to buy onto a tour,
right?
Which is a lot of money cost, and you're only making your merch money, and you're paying for your own gas, and, you're doing it that way. So, there's different ways to go about it. So, I mean, and you're right, everybody has their own opinion. People have definitely, I know a lot of people that are definitely against it.
Right, because, that sometimes it sucks because you're going to get the band that is going to be opening that show with you locally and is going to get 50, 100 tickets, and they're going to pay for them, like you said, and then they're going to give them away for free, and that's going to hurt the ticket sales you have if if you're on with them. I mean, they're going to say, well, let's try to get the tickets from these guys for free first, and if not, we'll go buy them from these guys. And that's the hard thing. And then you got the doormongers who are sitting at the front door, trying to get everybody to buy the tickets, and that pisses the promoters off. But you got to do what you got to do to sell it.
You do. I mean, I had a show in the past where we had sold 75 tickets to play with the band. I'm not going to mention the promoter that you were the band that we were involved with, but we had sold 75 tickets to a show, and we ended up playing on stage for 10 minutes. There was a 10-minute set. It was like we just sold it. We had 75 people there. We had sold tickets to. And this was years ago. Promoters no longer around. Actually, the venue's not even here anymore. But we had done that, and for 10 minutes. So there's bad promoters